This is a video on how to add inventory to a client account. The very first thing we're going to do is click on the account list at the top left corner. Then we're going to select the account that we would like to add inventory to. Now, over to the right, you're going to see all the inventory that is associated with this account. We're now going to click on the Add Inventory button over to your left. For the purposes of this video, we're going to be going over essential fields and the flow of item entry. For more detailed information on what each of the more advanced fields mean, please watch our training video on how to edit a client inventory item. The very first thing we're going to start with is our purchase method. Our purchase method determines what the form of acquisition is for the item. For this item entry process, we have consign, purchase, and store owned. We're going to go ahead and use consign. The date entered field designates when this inventory piece was entered into your inventory. Your process date designates when the consignment period will start. It is possible to reconsign items by simply changing the process date, which can then restart the markdown period. Next, we'll move on to the category. From here, we can simply type in what the item is. In this case, I'm going to use jeans. And then we can use our drop down over to the right to select what department these jeans are for. To get a more advanced category view, we simply hit F2 on our keyboard, and then we can use the selector to select which category we wish to use. From here, we can also add categories to our third level, which is over to the right. I'm going to go ahead and click OK again. Next, we'll be moving to the attributes area. Attributes can help describe the item and appear on the tag. You do not have to use all the attributes that are listed, as when you type in to the field, those will be the attributes that show up on the tag. So for the first one, I'll select my brand. Next, when I hit my enter key or click into the field, I can select my size. Then my color. And I'm only going to use those three attributes, so I'm going to hit my tab key or click into the description field to move ahead into the item entry process. The description describes the item in a way the attributes cannot. So we'll say this item has a butterfly design. Next, we'll move on to our price field, which determines what the price of the item is going to be. The retail price is purely cosmetic and shows value on the item if you research what the original price of the item is. In this case, I'll type in $40. For the cost net, you can type in a prearranged amount determined by the consignor. Under normal circumstances, you would simply use the price code to determine the split. We'll go ahead and skip over the cost net field and leave it at 0. The tag quantity determines how many tags for this item you would like to print out. Our item fee can be controlled automatically using price codes. The item fee is simply a consumer fee that gets paid by the consumer at the register. It is simply not added to your split, and it is pure profit for the store. The quantity determines how many of these items you have in stock. In relation to the tag quantity, you can have a quantity of 5, but only print out 1 tag that you keep at the register if you really wanted to. Next, we have the price code field. You can have multiple price codes that have multiple different splits and markdowns. You simply select the price code from the price code list here, and that will be applied to the item. Think of a price code as a profile for your consignment split, markdown, item fees, and expiration period, among other things. Next, you have your tax type, which you can actually just drop down and select multiple different tax types if you have different types of taxes for items. Then the tag color that is associated with the item. This can be used for tag color markdowns if you are using them. Then we have location, which is more specific if you're on cloud and have multiple store locations. And finally, the web item checkmark box, which determines whether or not this item is going to appear in the listing manager to be pushed up to the web later on. After we've entered in all our fields, we can then move into the photo tab over to the right. Please visit our video on how to add an image to an item if you'd like more information on this feature. Once we are done adding our inventory piece, we can simply click the Save button at the top right, and then we're all done. The process will restart at the very beginning, allowing you to add another item until you are finished. This was a video on how to add an item to a client account.